Thank you very much for joining me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. We are tracking our first tropical wave of the season that came off the coast of Africa, now in the central Atlantic right there. So I'm going to dive into that. I want to start with that and, of course, watching this feed of rain that still filters in the possibility, a higher possibility of some development out of this area as we go over the next few days, even into the upcoming weekend. So watching this surge of moisture around is a little more broken than I thought. I thought it would be more of a big shield of rain, but not all of us got the rain, but some of us did. We've had the flooding around in spots of Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, and we even had some rain back through parts of the ABC Islands finally, so some welcome news. We've had a few spotty showers this morning near Grenada. There's that tropical wave I'm watching. What the heck is a tropical wave? Those are the disturbances that come off the coast of Africa as we get into the hurricane season. Now, we get a lot of these, 55 to 65 all the way through November. The hurricane season starts June 1st. And it goes through the end of November. These are the waves that can, now I'm not talking about an ocean wave, these are atmospheric waves that can develop into tropical storms and hurricanes, and often do. You also get old areas of rain and fronts that could develop into those. So watching two things here, I'll zoom into this in a second, but this right here is where that tropical wave is. I am not seeing it developing into a tropical storm or a hurricane. Conditions aren't conducive to that. But what I am seeing is this being the first tropical wave is some welcome news, because as this starts to slide in, it's not going to bring a lot of rain, but it will change the weather pattern and we'll start to gradually get into the wet season for some of us. So this is on our Friday, getting into Saturday. And again, I'm going to zoom back down into this system in a second. But you see, as we work our way into Saturday, I want to jump ahead, stop the clock here, and you can see the rain that's building. And this is back toward Guyana and Suriname, and that's because of the tropical wave. So the tropical wave starts to move into the Eastern Caribbean on Saturday. There's not a lot of moisture with it. As we go from Saturday into Sunday, it will start to work across and it will bring some scattered showers on Sunday, a better chance of some scattered showers. So that's a good sign. And then you see back behind it, even more moisture. And this is what we'll be watching, trying to move our way as we get toward the end of May and into June. June is going to be a lot wetter. And this is the first sign that that forecast overall is on track for that wetter than average June. At least we're getting some changes now. And this is important too, because these tropical waves move across. We have been so dry in Mexico and in Central America. I want to get into that in a moment as well, but that is also a sign that things will be changing. There's the feed of moisture, and you see how it's broken. Some of us getting rain, others not so much. So it just really depends on where these bands of rain are just setting up. But this trying to lift through the Turks and Caicos, where we had some rain overnight. Now there is, as we've been talking about, the chance of development in this. It could develop into a subtropical storm, and now the National Hurricane Center is painting this area, showing that, yeah, this could develop into a subtropical storm. That's what we've been talking about for days. Conditions are marginally conducive for that. So for today, once again, not all of us get the rain, but some of us do. It's that tail end I was talking about yesterday. Just depends on where these bands of rain set up. We'll see some rain Panama, Colombia, and then still that chance through the ABC Islands. And you see, as we work our way into later today and tomorrow, this band of rain will be very close to Puerto Rico and the U.S. and British Virgin Islands. So the heaviest stuff, this developing subtropical system, lifts to the north, but there's that feed of moisture. But it's hard to tell if it'll be over here or a little bit more over here. Then as we work our way into the upcoming weekend, this is Saturday, not a ton going on with the exception of a couple showers and storms and the next tropical wave. But that is such a big deal, and that's what I'll be tracking, because that will eventually slide across the Caribbean. It does help kind of mix out some of the dust and adds moisture to the atmosphere, so eventually we'll get a better chance of rain. Now here's a broad picture. I want to show you the possibility of development. So here's Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago. We get over toward Barbados. Here's Puerto Rico, Bahamas. Here's Florida. Here's Bermuda. Now as we get into, let me go out in time and bring you into tomorrow. You see things kind of winding up here. Some whites in here. Those are winds of 80 kilometers an hour, 50 miles per hour, some gusts. But it does start to wrap up. It looks like this could briefly get a name. The first name on the list of the season is Alberto. We'll see if it gets named. It'll be very close to Bermuda by the time we get into the upcoming weekend. Now let me switch back to this system on the southern end of it, tracking those 3-day rain totals. So this is over the next few days. And once again, better chance Aruba. We had a few showers, very light in nature, Curacao, but Aruba, we did have some rain overnight, even some thunderstorms around. So things stayed on track. Heaviest was to the west yesterday, but we did get some rain rain, and there is still a chance if some of this, that feeder band or kind of tail of this clips us by again, we could get some spots that get 75 millimeters or 3 inches of rain, but that's such a thin line. It's really hard for me to tell exactly where it will be. Jamaica, we're looking at more scattered showers and storms. If we get some rain, 25 millimeters to a quick inch of some rain. But this is where it will still be heavier at times the next 3 days. Some of this is just some afternoon storms by the time we get into tomorrow. Overall coverage is going down as the system lifts to the north, but still a chance of some downpours, some decent totals in parts of Haiti and the Dominican Republic, in parts of the British and U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. Some of us in Puerto Rico yesterday, we did have some issues with power due to some of the rain. We had some flooding in spots, in others almost nothing. And that's how it went with this system, how it's going so far. We'll see how that feeder band works across later today into tomorrow, but still a chance of some downpours. If you get some downpours, 50 to 75 millimeters of rain or 2 to 3 inches of some additional rain. Now this is where it's been super dry. Here's Mexico City, get over toward Mexico, over toward the Yucatan. Here's Belize and Honduras. It has been just terrible. Animals have been dying all over the place. Obviously water just for life itself, so incredibly essential, obviously. And it's just been so dry, and the air quality has been so bad, and not much in the way of rain the next few days. 3-day totals are pretty low. Costa Rica and Panama will see a better chance of rain. Nothing getting organized out here, and you just see this sector is mainly dry. You see the stream of moisture over here, but over here, we are so dry. That's why those tropical waves are so important. Now, here's a look sent in by a viewer of this channel, and thank you for always sending me the information, the comments. I always try to get to that. This is in Honduras, and this is a before picture, and it is a little smoky, a little hazy outside. Watch what happens hours later in this, and you could barely see, and this is part of the issue we're seeing, not only in Honduras, but over toward Belize, Guatemala, Mexico, parts of Nicaragua. It has been El Salvador. It has been way too dry. So broader picture, you see here, dry conditions here, but there's the feed of moisture, and there's that first tropical wave of the hurricane season, which again officially starts June 1st. More severe weather toward Arkansas, Mississippi. Another round of some severe weather here. You see it here. And there's that plume of moisture. So this forecast is really holding from what we were talking about this past weekend. You see in Mexico, we have dry conditions. Get toward the Bahamas and Bermuda, watching the rain. It'll be mainly to the east of the Bahamas, but this is that rain that'll work its way closer to Bermuda. And yeah, maybe a subtropical storm. What's the difference between that and a tropical storm? Well, usually in a tropical storm, the strongest winds are in the core of it. Subtropical systems, usually you don't kind of have that kind of a broader wind field, not quite tropical in nature. Very close to Bermuda, most of the action just south and east as we work our way into the upcoming weekend and watching these fronts pulling across the U.S. Let me get a quick look here from my friends in the Atlantic region of Canada. There is some of the kind of a storminess around, or at least some showers around at times for today. So some of us on the gloomy side, parts of Prince Edward Island, over toward Newfoundland, and you see these systems moving out, and then another one getting set to move in. This is our Friday. This is by the time we get into tomorrow, and we'll be watching that next system getting closer, but still, rather on Saturday, chance of some showers around in Newfoundland, and then you'll see some rain working its way toward New England, parts of the Northeast, and Quebec. All right, so Jamaica today, trying to get back to the scattered showers and storms, 30 to 40% chance for us. Cayman Islands, rain chance 20%. As we get toward Trinidad and Tobago, there's a chance of a few showers around today. We've had some overcast conditions in spots. Rain chance will bump up this weekend, though. That's the tropical wave. So thank you for sharing this information across Trinidad and Tobago. We're about to get a pattern change. That's what I'll be tracking. Same thing in Barbados. Could get a couple showers today. Rain chance bumps up this weekend, and you see that trend. Same thing in St. Lucia. Rain chance today in Grenada, 40%. It is elevated. We've already had some showers that have been nearby. Could get a passing shower or two in St. Vincent and the Grenadines today. By Saturday, a 40% chance. Martinique, couple passing showers, and we had some rain yesterday in Dominica, which we needed. Rain chance still about 50% today, and a 40% chance in Guadeloupe. Rain chance 20 to 30%. Antigua and Barbuda, 20 to 30% chance. St. Kitts and Nevis and Montserrat, 30 to 40% chance. Anguilla and St. Bart's, 30 to 40% chance. St. Martin, Saba, and Statia. Rain chance You can see in Puerto Rico, this is not all day stuff. Not all of us get it, but watching some of the bands of rain, we're going to stay unsettled. Isolated areas of flooding, watching that pattern as well, U.S. and British Virgin Islands. And as we get toward the Dominican Republic, rain chance going down, but still that chance of some scattered storms this weekend. Haiti, that rain chance is trending down. Not a ton of action around as we work our way into later this week. Bahamas, heaviest rain will be off toward the east. Still watching the Turks and Caicos. We had that rain from overnight and earlier this morning. In Belize, we desperately need to get some of the rain. I was highlighting that earlier, just not much around. Aruba, we had some of the rain already. Keeping an eye on some of those areas of rain close by. Systems to the north, but still drawing that moisture closer to Curacao and Bonaire. And then Guyana, rain chance staying on the high side, especially with the new tropical wave moving in. We get toward Guyana and Suriname, rain chance is going to be up to about 80%. Some areas of flooding for us. And then in Cuba, isolated shower storm, rain chance about 38%. Costa Rica and Panama, 60 to 70% the next few days, 20 to 30% in Honduras, not much. Mexico City, we could get a few pop-up showers and storms outside of the city, though. Unfortunately, we are so dry with this extreme drought through parts of Mexico. Yucatan, very limited, 10-20% chance of a shower. Northern Venezuela, a 30 to 40% chance. And Bermuda, now Bermuda, it really depends on this weekend. I'm going to up that rain chance on Saturday, but it will be a close call with that developing subtropical system that will be nearby. Nothing we can't handle in Bermuda, but just watching that for us. So the first tropical wave on the move. This is really welcome news as this starts to move in. That means the overall pattern change is coming late month, but especially as we work our way into next month. Now tracking those areas of still some flooding for today, and on the flip side, those areas of drought, the wildfires, and some of the dust. We're days away from hurricane season, getting our first signs of that for sure. So tons going on. Thank you for being part of this weather community as we're about to hit the hurricane season. I'll keep you posted on everything best I can. That is my promise to you. I do this for safety. I hope you have a good rest of your day.